Good afternoon, folks. Ari here from Direct Auto Outlet in Fair Oaks, California. I have for you today a 2006 Subaru Legacy Outback. This particular Outback was traded into us just a little while ago from a nice family who purchased a GMC Acadia from us. This vehicle has just about 117,000 original miles. This is equipped with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Boxster engine, all-wheel drive technology. I'll explain a little bit about this vehicle. Every once in a while we'll come across a vehicle, usually on a trade-in, where it'll kind of be in a gray spot. It won't be quite up to the quality of vehicle we like to buy and sell. However, it won't be quite below the type of quality where we'll just send it to auction and wash our hands of it. Now, having said that, I don't want to scare many of you away. It's just mostly due to our very high standards here, and we're extremely picky on what we get. I'll explain all the things that I don't like about this vehicle, and I'll explain a lot of the benefits of it as well. First and foremost, lots of dings and scratches and a few little even dents on the vehicle. As you can see, if you do a close-up on the bumpers here, scratches and dings throughout. It has been used. Very frequently will you find this on a Subaru. These are technically the type of vehicles that typically don't get really horribly well taken care of cosmetically. Tacomas or other vehicles that we find typically in this condition, 4Runners, lifestyle vehicles, Priuses, those vehicles you rarely ever find in great, perfect cosmetic condition. I don't know if it has to do with the type of people who buy them or the type of use they have, but nonetheless, this thing is not absolutely stunning. However, if you were to compare it to our competition and our competitors, I'd say it's at least as nice as 50+% of them, more likely nicer than 75% of them. No major dents on the body, no major paint defects. Do have a little bit of cracking right there on the bumper from a couple parking lot maneuvers gone wrong. A little bit of a misalignment where you can see the bumper, when it got bumped, it got separated a little bit. Did put a little bit of gap between that headlight versus passenger headlight, which is a little bit tighter, the distance between the bumper and the headlight itself. Tires seem to be in good shape. They are matching tires all the way around. They do have Toyo tires all the way around. Brakes seem to be adequate as well. They're not brand new, but they're still working very well. Interior of the vehicle is actually quite clean and probably nicer than most. Door panels nice and great shape and nice and tight. No rips and cracks on the seats, and unlike most Subarus, it is not caked with mud or dog or animal hair. Air conditioning blows ice cold. Heat works as well. Center console has a little bit of wrinkling on it here, which is typical as well. 12-volt power outlet inside. Lower the volume there a little bit. 2 cup holders up front. Heated seats. Tiptronic automatic transmission. CD player with AM/FM CD. And you have only 117,218 miles, which is very low for a 2006. This vehicle is 15 years old. It's at way less than 10,000 miles a year. Our state average is 15,000 miles. That chiming you hear is just the car telling you we need to apply our seat belts or our seat belts. No moonroof or sunroof in this particular model. Power seats on the driver's side. Driver's side window, as you can see, does roll down properly. Passenger side window. Passenger rear. That one won't roll down all the way. That's just the way they're designed from the factory. The speaker in the door actually gets in the way of them going all the way down. Gonna roll the passenger rear up, driver's rear up, passenger front, and finally the driver's front. One thing I don't like about the design of these Subarus and many other Subaru models of this era is they don't have that metal that goes around the top of the glass. What that does is it allows the glass to seal up a little bit better on vehicles that do have that, and on highway speeds, especially above 80 miles per hour, it does make for a quieter ride inside the vehicle. When you don't have that on top of the doors, on top of the glass, all it is the glass making contact with this rubber molding over here. And almost every one of these Subarus I drive at high freeway speeds, you could hear a little bit of wind noise. So that's one downside of Subaru design here. All the headrests present and accounted for. Enough and ample room for 3 adults to sit quite comfortably with plenty of leg, shoulder, and headroom. Door panel again nice and good shape. Tires here seem to be about 50% life remaining on them. Brakes are still in good shape. Transmission shifts nice and smooth. Engine is strong. Looking at the rear here, you'll see that the vehicle is equipped with a all-weather cargo mat as well as all-weather floor mats. These are WeatherTech floor mats. They're quite expensive and quite good. You also do have your cargo cover here present and accounted for. This is retractable and removable. This is a 60-40 fold-down seating arrangement. And as you can see, the strut that holds the hatch open does work properly. When looking at this vehicle, I think 99 out of 100 people would be actually very impressed with it, with looking at it and driving it. In my professional opinion, just because I do this day in and day out, been doing it for 14 years professionally and several years before that amateurly. I don't know if that's really a word, but nonetheless, you know what I'm talking about. What this vehicle gives me a feeling of is it gives me a feeling of a vehicle that has not had outstanding maintenance and has probably had some deferred maintenance placed on it, where you would probably, if you looked hard enough, would find some oil leaks, some seepage, some probably belts and hoses that should have been replaced by now that haven't been. By no means is this the vehicle that you would look up maintenance records, do all your research, be a smart shopper and do your due diligence and think that you're getting a perfect vehicle. This is far from it. This typical vehicle, for the age and mileage, had we seeked it out and found one on our own that met our particular standards that we abide by with all of our other vehicles, we would probably be pricing it anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 higher. The reason this vehicle is so competitively priced is because, again, I don't feel that it is cherry. I'd like to at least go into every vehicle that I purchase feeling that it's excellent, and sometimes you do find a few things that are disappointing about them, but still overall I'd like to honestly think that all of our other vehicles that we've purchased ourselves are pretty much 9 out of 10s. But I don't feel that way about this vehicle, but nonetheless it doesn't mean it can't make someone a good vehicle, can't be a reliable vehicle for somebody. It's just, you gotta kind of know what your expectations are going into it. Engine sounds nice and smooth. Gosh, it must sound like I'm trying to scare you folks away from purchasing this vehicle. It's far from it. I think if you shopped our competitors, this one might be on the higher end of the quality of vehicles you'll find at most used car lots, especially at this price bracket. This vehicle is just not one that I'm particularly proud of. Heat shield still nice and in place, and the vehicle does ride very smoothly, very strongly. No issues with the head gasket as you would find with many of these years and models. No issues with the transmission. No major issues whatsoever. Again, I would just say a couple cosmetic issues here and there and some deferred maintenance. Something that you can do over time. Nothing that's urgent that would need to be done right away to keep the vehicle from operating properly. But, you know, you'd probably want to look at some seals and some gaskets and, you know, maybe eventually some shocks, some fluid changes. Couldn't hurt. Folks, you can find this vehicle and many others on our website, which is www.directauto.com. You can also phone us down here at the lot at any time at area code 916-765-7575. Do want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time to look at our video, and we sure do hope to see you down here at the lot soon. Thank you and have a great day.